Let me ask you a question that might hurt a little. A question that is going to dig beneath the surface of the persona you have carefully curated for the world and touch the raw nerve of who you actually are when the battery on your phone dies and the room goes silent. How much energy have you wasted trying to prove you matter to people who don't even care about you? I want you to really sit with that. To visualize the hours, the days, the years you have hemorrhaged, bleeding out your vital life force in a desperate bid for validation from a gallery of spectators who are not even watching the show. Think about it. How many times have you sat there, phone in hand, thumb hovering over the screen, drafting a post, finding the perfect angle, filtering the imperfections, or sitting at a dinner table, leaning forward, voice raising in pitch, explaining your big master plan to friends or family, waiting for that nod of approval, waiting for that widening of the eyes that says, wow, waiting for that hit of dopamine that makes you feel like you have accomplished something before you have even started. We live in a world that has weaponized our social instincts. A world that tells you to broadcast your light in real time, to share your wins, share your breakfast, share your grind, share your gym selfie, share your thoughts on the market, share everything, because if you don't share it, did it even happen? But let me tell you the brutal truth that nobody wants to admit. The truth that cuts through the noise of the social media age like a razor blade. Most people talk about the work because they are terrified to actually do it. They announce their moves because the applause feels like success. But applause is not success. Applause is a drug, and it is a dangerous one because it mimics the feeling of victory without requiring the price of the battle. Every time you open your mouth to seek validation for a dream you haven't built yet, you are leaking the very power you need to build it. You are opening the valve on the pressure cooker of your potential and letting the steam escape into the ether, leaving you with lukewarm water and a meal that will never cook. You see, there is a science to this failure, a biological mechanism that is working against you every time you open your mouth to brag or explain. When you tell everyone what you are going to do, I'm going to start that business in 2026. I'm going to lose 30 pounds. I'm going to write that book. I'm going to master the silver market. Your brain releases dopamine. It tricks you. It gives you the chemical reward of the achievement right then and there, flooding your neural pathways with the sensation of having already crossed the finish line without you having to endure the sweat, the tears, the sleepless nights, or the crushing discipline required to actually earn it. You feel good. You feel productive. You feel like a winner, but you haven't moved an inch. You are standing in the exact same spot, high on the fumes of a fantasy, while the real work remains untouched in the dark, gathering dust while you gather likes. And this is exactly why you are stuck. This is why you feel that gnawing emptiness when the lights stop coming and the room goes quiet and the notifications stop buzzing, because you have traded your potency for attention. You have sold your birthright for a bowl of digital soup. But 2026 demands something different from you, something harder, something darker, something more ancient. If you want to change your life, and I mean really change it, not just put a fresh coat of paint on the same old rotting structure, not just rearrange the deck chairs on the Titanic of your bad habits, you have to learn the art of the disappear. You have to learn to embrace the dark room. You have to understand that the most powerful move you will ever make is the one nobody sees coming. Real power doesn't scream. It doesn't clamor for attention. It doesn't need to be televised or tweeted or broadcasted. Think about the physics of power. Think about the seed in the soil. Does the seed shout when it breaks open? Does the oak tree demand an audience while it pushes its roots through the dirt in the pitch black of winter, fighting against the frozen earth to find stability? No, it grows in silence. It grows in the dark. It anchors itself deep in the earth where no one can see, establishing a foundation that is 10 times deeper than what is visible on the surface, so that when the storm comes, and let me promise you, the storm is always coming, it can stand tall while the shallow weeds are ripped away. You are that seed, but you keep digging yourself up to see if you've grown yet. You keep exposing your roots to the harsh light of public opinion before they've had a chance to take hold. And then you wonder why you wither. You wonder why you dry up. You wonder why you can't seem to sustain any momentum. You have to stop giving people access to your vision before it's ready, because not everyone deserves a front row seat to your process. In fact, most people in your life, even the ones who claim to love you, are not equipped to handle the magnitude of what you are trying to build. When you share your big vision with small minds, they don't see your potential. They see their own limitations reflected back at them. They see the gap between what you are aiming for and where they have settled, and that gap terrifies them. They will tell you, be realistic. They will tell you that's too risky. They will tell you nobody does that. They will plant seeds of doubt in your garden, not because they hate you, but because your growth makes them uncomfortable. Your evolution reminds them of their stagnation. Your rising exposes their falling. So they try to pull you back down to their level, dragging you back into the bucket like crabs, not out of malice, but out of a desperate need to maintain the status quo of mediocrity that makes them feel safe. So the first rule for 2026 is simple, but it is excruciatingly hard for a generation addicted to feedback. Close your mouth. Shut it. Stop explaining yourself. Stop justifying your existence. Stop trying to get people to understand you. You do not owe anyone an explanation for your growth. You do not owe anyone a breakdown of how you got where you are or where you are going. That part of the journey belongs to you and you alone. The long nights are yours. The early mornings when your body screams for sleep, but your spirit screams for destiny, are yours. The setbacks that brought you to your knees and made you question everything are yours. When you move in silence, you become dangerous. You become unpredictable. You become a variable that the world cannot calculate. People fear what they cannot see. They respect what they cannot predict. And in a world where everyone is vomiting their every thought onto the internet, the person who holds their cards close to their chest is the one who controls the game. Silence is not weakness. Silence is a strategy. Silence is a weapon. Silence is the shield that protects your flame from the winds of criticism. It keeps you from reacting impulsively. It keeps you from saying things you will regret. But more importantly, it forces you to sit with yourself. And that is the part that scares you, isn't it? Being alone with yourself. We fill our lives with noise, podcasts, music, endless scrolling, gossip, drama, Netflix, news cycles, financial tickers, anything to drown out the silence. Because if we turn it all off, if we sit in a quiet room with nothing but our own thoughts, we might have to face the person in the mirror. And for a lot of you, that person is a stranger. Or worse, that person is someone you don't even like. You spent so much time curating a version of yourself for the world that you've lost the version of yourself that actually exists. You've been running from your own reflection, hiding behind avatars and filtered photos and carefully crafted bios. But if you want to win in 2026, you have to stop running. You have to look at that reflection, warts and all, shadows and all, failures and all, and say, I am going to fix this. Not for them, not for the likes, not for the algorithm, but for me. You have to reach a point where you like yourself enough to keep a promise to yourself. How can you trust yourself to build an empire if you can't even trust yourself to get out of bed when the alarm goes off? How can you command respect from the marketplace if you don't respect yourself enough to put down the junk food, to put down the distractions, to do the work when no one is watching? You are built by the tiny decisions you make in the dark. The world rewards you in public for what you do in private, but you want the public reward without the private sacrifice. You want the trophy without the training. You want the resurrection without the death, but you have to die to who you used to be if you want to give birth to who you are becoming. This is about the stoic art of taking back control. Epictetus, the great slave philosopher, taught us that we are disturbed not by things, but by the views we take of them. We are disturbed because we attach our happiness to things outside of our control. What people think, who likes us, the outcome of the game, the price of silver, the mood of our boss. But the Stoics knew the secret, the key to an invincible mind. The only thing you control is you, your judgments, your actions, your character, your reaction. Imagine if you took all that energy you spend worrying about other people's opinions, all that energy you spend trying to craft the perfect image, and you poured it into your own foundation. Imagine if you treated your energy like a bank account. Every time you engage in drama, you are making a withdrawal. Every time you explain yourself to a fool, you are going bankrupt. You have to stop leaking your power. You have to hoard your focus like it is the last bottle of water in the desert. Because 2026 is going to ask you a question. Are you ready? Not do you want it? Everyone wants it. Everyone wants the money, the freedom, the body, the love, the respect. But are you ready to carry the weight of it? Because the weight of success will crush you if you haven't built the muscle to hold it. And muscle is built through resistance. It is built through pain. It is built through tearing the fiber so it can grow back stronger. You cannot have a life of greatness without a season of pain. I know you want it to be easy. I know you're looking for the hat, the shortcut, the easy way out, the crypto coin that goes to the moon overnight. But let me tell you, the easy way leads to a hard life. The hard way, the discipline, the silence, the focus leads to a life of freedom. You have to choose your heart. Being broke is hard. Being wealthy is hard. Choose your heart. Being out of shape is hard. Being disciplined in the gym is hard. Choose your heart. Having difficult conversations is hard. Living in resentment is hard. Choose your heart. There is no path that doesn't involve struggle. But the struggle you choose in the dark room, the struggle of self-mastery, that is the struggle that liberates you. I want you to think about the concept of the dark room. In photography, before a beautiful image can be seen, it has to be developed in the dark. It has to sit in the chemicals. It has to undergo a process where light cannot touch it. If you expose it to light too soon, you ruin the picture. You are in the dark room right now. Maybe you feel lonely. Maybe you feel like light is burying you. Maybe you feel like you are surrounded by darkness, but you need to shift your perspective. You are not being buried, you are being planted. This loneliness you feel is not abandonment, it's insulation. Life is trying to protect you while you grow. It's removing the distractions. It's removing the fake friends. It's removing the noise so that you can finally hear your own voice. Do not run from the quiet. The quiet is where the answers are. There's a quote that says, "A fool is known by his speech and a wise man by his silence." When you are silent, you can observe. You can see the chessboard. You can see people's true intentions. When you are always talking, you are blind. You are so busy projecting that you cannot perceive. Silence gives you the upper hand. It makes you the smartest person in the room because you are the only one gathering data while everyone else is giving it away. So how do we do this? How do we step into 2026 with this new power? First, you must kill the addiction to tomorrow. Tomorrow is a liar. Tomorrow is the graveyard of dreams. You say, I'll start in January. I'll start on Monday. No, you start now. The moment you delay, you are training your mind to accept failure. You are training yourself that your word means nothing. You have to become a person of immediate execution, speed of implementation. If you have an idea, you move on it in silence. You don't tweet about it. You don't call your mom. You do the first step. Second, you have to embrace the boredom of consistency. We love the highlight reel. We love the montage in the movie where the hero gets strong in 3 minutes of upbeat music. But real life isn't a montage. Real life is waking up at 4 a.m. when it's cold and dark and you don't want to do it. Real life is doing the same boring things over and over again until they compound into greatness. It's repetition. It's mundane. It is eating the same meals, lifting the same weights, reading the same charts, writing the same words until the skill is forged in the fire of monotony. That is where the magic is hiding, in the dirt, in the repetition. Third, you have to detach. You have to practice emotional detachment. This doesn't mean you become a robot. It means you stop letting outside events control your internal states. Someone cuts you off in traffic, you don't react. Someone leaves a nasty comment, you don't react. The market dips, you don't panic. You are not a puppet. You do not let the world pull your strings. You stand firm in your own frame. You decide how you feel. You decide what matters. This is the ultimate freedom. Because let me tell you about the people who win. The people who truly win are the ones who have a vision so clear, so compelling that nothing can pull them off course. They have tunnel vision. They don't look to the left to see who's competing with them. They don't look to the right to see who's criticizing them. They look straight ahead. They are running a race against their potential, not against other people. And when you focus on yourself like that, when you truly lock in, people will start to look at you differently. They will wonder what happened. They will ask, why are you so quiet? Why don't we see you at the club anymore? Why have you changed? And you won't even need to answer. You'll just smile because you know that you are building something they can't see yet. You know that you are becoming a ghost to the old life so you can be the king or queen of the new one. You have to be willing to be the villain in their story if it means being the hero in yours. You have to be willing to set boundaries that offend people. You have to be willing to say no without guilt. No, I can't come. No, I can't help you with that. No, I am not available. Your availability is not a sign of your worth. Your worth is found in what you protect, not what you give away. Listen to me closely. The time for playing small is over. The time for begging for a seat at the table is over. You are going to build your own table, but you are going to build it in the garage with the lights off while everyone else is sleeping. There is a beast inside of you that has been dormant for too long. It's been sedated by comfort. It's been sedated by fear. It's been sedated by the opinions of sheep. It is time to wake it up. But you don't wake it up with a shout. You wake it up with a whisper that says, I am done with this mediocrity. A whisper that says, I am ready to suffer for what I want. You have 24 hours in a day, just like Beyonce, just like Elon, just like the greats. The difference is not the time. The difference is the focus. The difference is they don't leak energy on nonsense. They don't chase snakes into the woods to see why they bit them. They heal the wound and keep moving. So as we look toward 2026, I need you to make a pact with yourself, a pact of silence, a pact of focus. You are going to take the next year and you are going to disappear into your purpose. You are going to study your craft like your life depends on it, because it does. You are going to work on your mind, your body, and your spirit with a ferocity that scares you a little bit. And when you feel like quitting, because you will, when the motivation fades and the discipline is the only thing left holding you up, you are going to remember this moment. You are going to remember that you chose this. You chose the path of the warrior. You chose the path of the lion who moves in silence. You don't need them to believe in you. In fact, it's better if they don't. Let their doubt be your fuel. Let their mockery be the wood in your fire. But don't burn the house down trying to prove them wrong. Just build a bigger house. Everything you want is on the other side of a door marked focus, but you have to walk through it alone. You have to leave the baggage at the entrance. You have to leave the need for validation at the entrance. You have to leave the old version of you at the entrance. The version of you that needs to be liked, the version of you that needs to be understood, that version must die so that the new you can live. It is a funeral and a birthday all at once. And yes, it will be lonely. The air is thinner at the top. The herd is not there. But the view is worth the climb. The freedom is worth the discipline. The legacy is worth the sacrifice. You are